Shrek 2 for PC is a childhood favourite of mine that I'd play over and over again, and I have a lot of fond memories of it. It's an action platformer released in 2004 as a movie license game based on the property of the same name. This game was published by Activision and developed by No Wonder, also known as Amaze Entertainment, who were known for some PC versions of Harry Potter games along with some other minor titles. In fact, Shrek 2 was their second to last game, with a Harry Potter game being their last. Now getting into the story. It starts off with a brief summary of what happened from Shrek 1 to now in the storybook style of the first two films. It then switches over to an in-game cutscene of Shrek and Fiona coming back from their honeymoon to find their house is a total wreck with Donkey's poor housekeeping skills. Donkey informs the two that they've been invited to far, far away to go to the royal ball, so Shrek can finally meet Fiona's parents, who are the king and queen. Now why does Donkey know this? Because why not? Shrek, Fiona and Donkey ride an onion carriage there, with some minor interruptions on the way, like hoodlums knocking down some trees and stealing a wheel off their carriage. You play Piggy in the middle with them to get it back before our main characters make it there. Wait, what was the point of that? It doesn't add anything to the story, it's just so dumb. It's a waste of time that just feels out of place. Afterwards, we learn Shrek wasn't what Fiona's parents were expecting. Shrek and Harold don't get along too well at dinner, and Fiona goes to her room where she meets the fairy godmother. She tells Fiona she can live happily ever after if she marries her son, Prince Charming, which Fiona declines, so the godmother threatens the king, who sends Shrek out on a hunt in the forest. Just like in the actual movie, Shrek is told that he will be hunting with Harold the next day. Unlike the movie, he explores with Donkey to avoid traps, but then, out of nowhere, Puss in Boots tries to kill Shrek. You defeat Puss by slamming the ground a few times, which knocks him over. Wait, what? But then he coughs up a furball, and when doing so, Donkey suggests that you should watch him die.
Nah, he's a goner. Let's just watch.
Then straight after suggesting that, he says you should eat him.
What? No, Donkey. I don't hurt little kitty cats.
Yeah, you do. You eat kitty cats for breakfast. You turn them inside out and wear them as hats.
Wait, what? Puss admits defeat and joins you as a companion. Puss confirms that it was King Harold who sent him to kill Shrek. After saying that, Puss tells Shrek that if he wants happiness, he could go to the fairy godmother, not knowing she orchestrated this whole thing. When you get there, an unexplained photo shoot happens with Puss and Donkey. This is never mentioned in the game again, which I'm quite happy about. When Shrek gets to asking the fairy godmother, she declines as she doesn't believe ogres should get happy endings, so she sends him out at her office. Shrek still wanting a happily ever after potion. Wait, potion? You can't expect me to have watched the movie just before playing the game. Sure, it's a movie game and that helps, but it shouldn't be necessary. Imagine if it was vice versa and I had needed to play a game before watching the movie for it to make proper sense. Oh wait. Puss steals the potion for Shrek and Donkey drink it. After sleeping the night off, they wake up and see the potion worked. Shrek and Donkey are now handsome versions of themselves. In doing so, it also turns Fiona back to normal, which is only explained in the movie. When Fairy Godmother found out about this, she gets the gods, which she controls for some reason, to lock up Shrek and Donkey so they can't spoil her plans of marrying her son, Prince Charming, to Fiona. Our three heroes are locked up, but they escape their prison, which wasn't even properly locked up. When they get out, Gingy and Mongo are waiting outside to greet them. What? There are so many things wrong about this. Puss mentions that they are their secret weapon, created by the Muffin Man, who was never mentioned before or after. Mongo then smashes his way through the castle and drops Shrek, Donkey and Puss outside the gates. Why didn't he drop us off somewhere useful? We'll never know. Once Shrek fights his way through the guards, he finds his way into the ball where he sees Prince Charming trying to kiss Fiona, but Fiona punches Charming out. Shrek then commences the final battle with Fairy Godmother. The game breaks the fourth wall a bit by Fiona looking up cheat codes to help you try and defeat the Fairy Godmother. Godmother gets defeated, Donkey turns back to his normal self and banters with Puss about him coming back for Shrek 3. Shrek and Fiona become ogres again and reunite for the wedding ball, and that's the end of the game. In the gameplay department, the game sucks. It's a simple action platformer with a lot of platforming and action-filled combat, and none of it feels refined. In fact, some of the platforming bits just require you to jump and the game places your character to the next platform. The platforming ends up just being dull with you jumping on a ledge or vine and shimmering across, or jumping in straight lines across platforms. The combat also sucks. There is only one attack button with a simple 3-chain combo as well as a ground pound. The game controls like a tank. WASD only moves you forwards or backwards and strays you left or right. You can't move diagonally diagonally, but you can turn your character by moving the mouse around, kind of like an FPS game. There are 6 playable characters in this game, and they're all practically the same minus one. These individuals are Shrek, Donkey, Puss in Boots, Handsome Shrek, Noble Steed Donkey, and Mongo. The one difference is Mongo the giant gingerbread man. His levels play like a Godzilla movie where you're a towering monster tearing apart the environment around you. Now the level is fun, but it would have been interesting to see more gameplay as Mongo. Instead of skipping us straight from the stupid prison to far, far away castle, I wish we could smash our way there like in the movie. All throughout the game there is a special autosave feature, Roy the Save Fairy.
Hey, I'm Roy, your save fairy.
Whenever he's floating around the level, all you have to do is walk up to him and he will save your game. In all honesty though, he is the best looking fairy in the game and his voice is magnificent. There are a few collectibles in this game, and the main common collectible is coins. You'll find them scattered everywhere in levels. They'll be in crates and trails guiding you where to go, and also pop out of dead enemies. There are multiple types of coins. The single coin, the stack of coins, and the coin bag. They give you different amount of coins depending on which one you collect. The main hidden collectible in this game is wanted posters. These will be hidden around each level, and collecting 3 of them will take you to a bonus stage. Where have I heard that one before? Now these bonus levels are just easy ways to obtain coins for the underwhelming potions. What are potions, you ask? Well, where do I begin with potions in this game? They are next to useless and are just simple power-ups that you'll forget exist. You get potions from the pop-up fairy godmother stands and you spend your coins to purchase them. But you won't ever bother purchasing these potions though. Why, you may ask? Well, that's simple. They're all the same except for 4 of them. There are 9 in total, and 5 of them act the same. They just stun the enemies and lower their health to 1 so you can knock them out in one simple punch. The other 4 leftover potions are the Strength Potion, which sounds useful, but feels like it doesn't inflict any more damage to your enemies. The Frog Potion that turns everyone into frogs, but you can't kill them, so what was the point? The Invisibility Potion that lets you take down enemies without being seen, and the Shrinking Potion that lets you shrink to fit into small gaps to receive extra money. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if these were all just a last minute sort. The worst part is that coins are used for nothing else, which makes you feel less obligated to collect them. There is also a 4-leaf clover collectible. They add extra health to your health bar, so that's neat. The only other pickup is the hero bars, which are there to restore health. They always remind me of the power source bar from that one episode of The Simpsons, but aside from that, they're just normal health pickups. The visuals in this game can sometimes look pleasing to the eyes, like the Puss in Boots level where you escape the prison through the sewers, or when you go into the crystal mines of Shrek, but they can also look so bland. Like the prison level as Noble Steed Donkey. The graphics do look alright, but nowhere near as impressive as your Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenals or your Sly 3s, which were both released around the same time. Some level themes in this game are drastically different from the film and are normally well executed, which is actually nice. Normally when tie-in games try to add their own elements, they aren't normally too good. But here, I thought it was pretty good. I found the atmosphere of levels in this game to also be good, with the dark and dim caves that were lit up with the glowing blue crystals. The audio is very odd to say the least. The OST is out of place for a Shrek soundtrack, but growing up with it makes me think of Shrek. The voice acting borderline sucks due to them not being able to get the original actors, and the stand-ins aren't very good aside from Mike Mosley.
Come to think of it, I'm gonna have to go up there and kick that rope down, potion or not.
None of them stray too far away from trying to impersonate the original cast, aside from Michael Goff as King Harold.
I am a king. Maybe I should be doing something.
Another thing to mention is that the music is very loud compared to the voices in this game, and I think it's to mask the bad voice acting, to be honest. Another thing worth of note is the glitches. Some softlock the game, like you can see here with the pumpkin, and other times it's weird visual glitches like falling into sewer water, which makes you fall into a black void. We also have Shrek doing this. The game also feels super unpolished and rushed to hit deadlines for the movie's 2004 release, like most movie tie-in games I guess you could say. Overall, Shrek 2 isn't a good game, and really has nothing special about it aside from 2 good looking levels. It's a cheap movie tie-in game which served its purpose for the time but doesn't really need to be heard from again. This was a childhood game for me, but playing it again sort of ruined the magic. Funny enough, there was an incredibly better console version that was so good that it got ported to PC as Shrek 2 Team Action, so if you're gonna play any Shrek 2s, go for that one. Hey, happy 2019, thanks for sticking around with Mystic. Just wanted to say a few things after this video. Firstly, I've been making this video for ages, like before Mystic was made I had an old script. I just brought it back when Mystic was made and touched it up in like November. So this video has been in the works for like 2 months now because I'm really lazy. It's my first time editing, so I hope you liked it. I also wanted to say that The soundtrack in this game kind of fits Spider-Man more. That's why I've got that footage playing now that Brad edited. So thanks for that. Anyway, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. Also, be sure to check out these other videos on the screen now. Thank you, goodbye.